Welcome to Real Life Topics Podcast, guys, on the CEO Mindset Takeover. Woo! Welcome, guys, to Real Life Topics Podcast on the CEO Mindset Takeover, where we have exclusive guests, exclusive CEOs that have the CEO mindset. And guys, we want to introduce you guys to plenty of CEOs and this is CEO Takeover. I'm just saying, guys, it's Real Life Topics Podcast in the building with the CEOs. Welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Of course, the CEO Mindset Takeover. Rachel Gary.
Hello,
Rachel Gary presents the CEO Mindset Takeover with Real Life Topics Podcast.
Love to partner with y'all. Hello, ladies. Hello. We about to get into it.
Can't hear? No, Rachel, we can't hear you. Can you hear Rachel?
I can hear Rachel. Yeah.
I'm here. I can hear y'all.
Yeah, I can hear her. No?
I can't hear Rachel.
I can hear you and I can hear Rachel. I don't know why.
Rachel, we can't hear you.
I think Stephanie Stephanie can't hear. We'll put her backstage for a minute and let's see what we got going on with that.
Yes. So welcome, guys. Welcome to Real Life Topics Podcast with Miss Rachel Gary and everyone.
All right. So
I'm not sure why Real Life Topics Podcast cannot hear Rachel this time.
Either way, we're here for the CEO Mindset, and we have a bunch of entrepreneurs and CEOs here who have geared themselves to get on their fast track to the CEO Mindset. So we're here to ask some questions so they can drop some jewels and we can get some gems, and we need to spread this abundant wealth of knowledge that we have gained through the leadership of Rachel Gary through Real Life Topics Takeover of the CEO Mindset. All right?
Take it over.
All right. Let's get it cracking. Let's get it started. Do you have some questions you want to ask? How do you want to gear ourselves? Because, everybody we have here tonight, I'm pretty sure has come from some kind of humble beginning. And we are all here in the room for a great purpose to, I guess, just come together and collab and find out what masterminds do, what the minds do when they get together and they think, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So, to be honest with you, I guess I don't know if we're going to ask separate questions. I do actually have some group questions that I would like to ask, but I guess we can start with Miss Rachel L. Gary, and she can give us a little bit of a backset of the program and actually what it does to bring entrepreneurs together to get to the CEO mindset.
Absolutely. Carisha, I love to come talk to you. So, she has some awesome questions. Guys, the CEO Mastermind is all about individuals getting the opportunity to grow their business through a 10-week program that has come from information within #Poverty to Six Figures, Breaking the Chain, the Game, my award-winning book. However, it's about them putting together action towards making a successful business in the community, grow, develop, and be the best version of them. Guys, I don't want to even take any more time because these CEOs here are going to give you guys information about their business and how they grew their business. We're in week 9. God, this has been going on just so quickly. So I'm gonna let them go ahead and introduce themselves. And at the end of the day, I'm just a humble individual who had the pleasure to work with some awesome individuals this season.
Okay, so if you want to start, I see in my roster that I have from Ms. Natalie R. Murphy and self-publishing coach. So you trying to tell us some things about her?
Can you guys hear me?
There's some feedback. So it seems like someone has their microphones on, and it's.
So maybe we can't have them on at the same time.
Can you hear me now? Without the feedback?
You got a little feedback.
Okay,
Oh,
maybe
So
I'll
maybe
just
if
get out of
everyone's
this.
muted and then we take turns coming off.
Hmm. Let's see. Can you guys hear me now?
I hear you
Yeah,
a
we hear
little.
you. Feedback.
You still hear the feedback? No, you don't hear the feedback. Okay, so you can't hear me. Okay, so of course, again, this is the CEO Mindset Takeover with Real Life Topics podcast, guys. And of course, I wanted to start off with Miss D Woods, if you guys don't mind.
She not
Well, I
on.
Can
have
you
heard
guys hear me?
with Miss Natalie Murphy. We already because I don't know if you could hear, but Miss
Oh,
Natalie
Natalie
Murphy.
Murphy. I didn't hear you guys. So you guys are on Natalie Murphy. Okay, Miss Natalie Murphy.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Natalie Murphy. I'm an award winning romance writer. I host a self publishing class called From Pen to Publish, where I teach writers how to successfully and confidently transform their writing dreams into a published reality.
Okay, Miss Natalie Murphy. Well, you seem to have yourself together. You seem to be very well spoken, and you know what your goal is. What made you bring yourself to Rachel L. Gary to level up to get to the CEO mindset, and why did you think you needed it?
So I met Rachel first at the Distinguished Authors Guild, which is where I won my first literary award. And I've been watching her, and I've been watching some of my fellow authors sign up for her mastermind class. And I kind of feel like I'm on my own in this whole thing because I'm not close to anyone. My husband and I relocated a couple of years ago. So I'm in Arizona and I'm still getting my feet wet out here. So I kind of feel like I'm alone. I don't have as strong a support system as I did when I was in Illinois. And I'm watching the CEOs go through the class and they're ranting and raving about Rachel L. Gary and this master class. And I said, you know what? I need to get my feet wet in that too, because I I know what I want to do, like you said, I know what my goals are. But sometimes when you're on your own, doing it by yourself, sometimes you just feel you kind of slack off. And I was like, I need somebody to hold me accountable. I need somebody to hold my feet to the fire. And Rachel set up a schedule for me, a 10-week schedule. And it's keeping me on track. It really is. And I really appreciate that.
So, can you tell me about any of the successes that you may have had before the coaching and the difference in between then and then now where you're at mentally as well?
So before I started the masterclass, I've won multiple literary awards. I've written and self-published a romantic to the end. And from publishing my book, self-publishing my books, I had to learn how to do that myself because I didn't know anyone in the publishing world. So I studied the different um, the different types of publishing, self-publishing, traditional publishing, vanity publishing, hybrid publishing, and decided that self-publishing was for me. And after I self-published my second book, I thought, you know what, there are other people out here who have a story and they're ready to do something with it, but they don't know the next steps to take. So that's when I decided to put together all the material and information that I learned and create From Pen to Publish, the road to self-publishing. And from that class, I've had, I think right now it's about 10 authors who have followed all the procedures all the way through. They are self-published, and 2 are literary award winners. So that was before I met Rachel. And then after Rachel, she's got me in a different headspace, like you said. My mental space in terms of what I'm doing has changed because I'm a CEO now. I wouldn't say that before. And having a CEO mindset helps push me along because by giving me that title, it gives me something to shoot for. Before I was just working, kind of like they say the hamster spinning the wheel. I was just working and running, and now I have a goal, and that's what Rachel has done for me.
Now you know they say in order. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I appreciate the honor that the Queen of Romance gave me. Thank you.
Well, they say, in order to be a good leader, you have to follow first.
Absolutely.
So, you know what I mean? It seems like you got yourself where you want to be. So in these 9 weeks, after your 10 weeks is up, what are your first steps going to be in your new mindset? With
my first step is to make sure I've got everything organized so that I can continue to do what I'm doing. So I'd like to ultimately host my workshop at least every 3 months, with the goal of doing it possibly every month or even more frequently than that.
You have any questions, Ms. Godschow?
How long have you been publishing books and writing books?
I started my first book during the pandemic, 2020. I used to be a photographer, and the pandemic shut down my business. And I woke up one day with this idea for a story. And I've always been a romantic. And I thought, oh, that's a cool story. But I didn't think anything about it. And then I clearly heard God say, write the story. And I was like, no, I'm not getting ready to do that because I don't know anything about publishing. But I've always been a writer. So I've always written poetry and short stories, and I've always enjoyed that. But I never took it to the point of thinking that I was going to publish it and put it out in the world. So I gave God all the reasons in the world why I was not going to do this. But every day, this story just kept developing and kept developing. And after about 3 weeks, I said, okay, Lord, if this is you, you're going to have to come down in front of this computer with me and help me type it out because I don't know how to type. So I went and sat in front of my computer, and me and my little sausage fingers, we started pecking away. And in about 3 months, I had a complete story. And I showed it to my best friend at the time, and she said, next, you got to do something with this. And I'm like, do what? She was like, you got to publish it. Publish what? And I was thinking that it was going to be this massive amount of money, and I don't know anything about it. And that's when I started doing the research from pen to publish and how to publish my books.
Okay, great. What was your greatest moment and what was your greatest transformation that you noticed once you did? Because of course you started off being a publisher before you were part of the CEO Mindset with Rachel Gary. Mm-hmm. And so what was one of the greatest moments that you noticed that, hey, this is a good part of the growth and development for myself?
When I received the nomination, when I received the award for the Distinguished Authors Guild for my first book, Then Came You. That was a mind blower for me. It was during the pandemic, so it was virtual. So I'm watching my computer screen, and Gina finally gets to the romance category because I don't know why the romance category is all the way at the end. So I had to sit through all the other categories. And when she got to romance, I don't know if I was breathing or not. And then she said, the winner is Then Came You from Natalie R. Murphy. And I just lost it. But that was the moment I felt like, okay, I'm onto something. I'm doing something that I love, and now it's being recognized. And yeah, so from that point on, I haven't stopped writing.
The word romance, I just want to dwell on that for a moment. What made you walk out on faith and feel like romance should be written about or published about?
A couple of things. One, so my middle initial is R, and I tell people that stands for romance junkie. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. And I kind of feel like romance was just who I am. It's in me because my mom is a romantic. Her favorite movie was West Side Story. The main character in the original version of the story is Natalie Wood. My mom named me after her. But I've always loved romance. I've always loved a happily ever after. I guess you could say I was that kid with the rose colored glasses, seeing rainbows and butterflies, and 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 that's what I felt like I knew. And it was something that it really comes easily to me to write romance because I know the end is always going to be a happily ever after. And I'm a creator, so I love creating things. So I love creating these characters. I love creating a new town. So in one of my series, there's a town called Jasperville, and I've even had readers. I've completed that series, and I've even had a couple of readers say, "Don't leave Jasperville. We want to stay in Jasperville." So I love things like that. So that is, kind of what pushes me to continue writing. But I believe that writing, whatever you write, has to come from your heart. It has to be something that you feel, because if you're not feeling it, neither will your readers.
That is true. That is true. So, if someone wanted to get one of your books, how could they reach you to get one of your books, a copy of one of your books?
You can go to my
And
website.
what is going on with one? Do you have a book that you just recently dropped? If you can elaborate on that, and just the audience that's tuning in, if you could just let them know once again who you are and where they can get your book.
Okay. Again, my name is Natalie R. Murphy. The R stands for Romance Junkie. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. You can reach me at, you can order one of my books from my website, natsbooks.net. The most recent book that I dropped was in October. It's called The Secret in His Kiss. It's the fourth book in a 4-part series, and it's about Sylvie and Jameson. They met as children. They separated, and then they came back together. Only when they came back together, Sylvie didn't remember him, but he remembered her. And his dilemma was, how do I, because he was in love with her, how do I get back with her and tell her about our horrible past as children, or do I just not tell her? So they go through the trials of trying to have a relationship. She doesn't remember anything from I think it's 3 years previous. So she's very standoffish. Jameson is very he's the life of the party type person. And he gets on her nerves, she gets on his nerves. But again, he knows her past. So that past starts to come to light, and it tears them apart. But again, in my happily ever afters, they come back together. You just have to read the book to find out how.
I'm ready for you to keep talking. Come on, keep telling.
I had to stop because I'm like, wait, I'm giving away too much.
Okay,
We want to know the story.
They get a copy of the book.
Still mad about Jasperville, though. Okay, sorry for that. I had to intervene to say that about Jasperville. I'm still mad that Jasperville is gone.
Oh man! Where could the audience get the copy of the book?
How you get from writing those books, and how they could do the same for their book.
I'm sorry, Rachel. I didn't catch all of that question.
Take them back to, because you wrote that book, why you decided to be a person to help people write their story and get their book published. I want to make sure we don't lose sight of that, because you're an author, but an author who now teaches other authors how to find success.
Right. And like I said, because I know I'm not the only one out there to struggle, and I didn't believe that God gave me all that information to keep it to myself. So I am here to help people to learn how to self-publish their books, because traditional publishing is a whole nother animal. And what I tell people in my workshop is that one of the biggest differences is self-publishing. I'm in control. It's my work. It's my timeline. It's all me. If you traditional publish, you've got to get a literary agent. The literary agent has to find a publisher that will accept your book. Once they accept your book, it may be 2, 3, 4 years before they even publish it. Or they can turn around and say, nope, no good. So now your book has been sitting idle all these years, and now you're back at square one. So what my workshop does is allow the author to say, hey, I can do this myself. And like I said, I've had 2 of the of my attendees have become literary award-winning authors.
Oh, so you're bossing up so that way you can help your people boss up as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So my question to you, are you going to take some of the things that you have learned from the CEO mindset into your new mindset with your class and your workshop with your people?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, because everything I learn to elevate me, like you said, I have to give that back. I'm not going to gatekeep. I'm not going to just give some of the information and not all of it, because I believe there's room at the top for everybody. So if I know the answer, I'm going to give it to you. If I don't, I'm going to help you find it.
Okay, and do you give your is there like a mentorship as well within your coaching?
So I do follow up with my authors once they finish the workshop, because I don't want anybody to just take the information, and because it's easy. Again, like I said, when you're by yourself, you just kind of slack off a little bit. But no, I want to push them through. And one of the CEOs that we're speaking to tonight, Shana Jenkins, she went through my workshop, and she'll tell you every time she called, I answered.
Okay. So I think, because we got a few more people that we need to talk to, but it's such a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me.
Yes, of course. Thank you for joining us, Chicago. Thank you for joining the takeover, the CEO Mindset Takeover with Miss Rachel L. Gary. Miss Rachel L. Gary presents with Real Life Topics podcast. And there you have it. The publisher and book author, Miss Natalie Murphy, was in the building, guys. Miss Natalie Murphy, can you tell the audience where could they purchase your books at?
Yes, you can go to my website, netsbooks.net. And if there are any authors on here that do vending pop-ups and vendor events, I have a free vendor checklist on my website. So go to my website, netsbooks.net, download a free vendor checklist so that you're ready when you go to that next vendor event.
There you have it, guys. There you have it, guys. The takeover, the CEO Mindset Takeover with Miss Natalie Murphy. Thank you so much, Miss Natalie Murphy, for joining Real Life Topics podcast on the CEO Mindset Takeover. Thank you so much.
Who's next, Steph? Who we got? Come on.
You know what? Since Miss Natalie Murphy mentioned Miss Shana Jenkins, the interior designer.
Who? My kind of girl.
Let's go. Let's go.
Hey, everybody.
Let's go. Welcome to the CEO Mindset Takeover. Miss Shana Jenkins, one of the number one interior designers.
I'll take
it. Period. Could you please tell the CEO Mindset Takeover audience and Real Life Topics podcast audience, and of course, Rachel L. Gary audience, who is Miss Shana Jenkins, the interior designer?
Yes, thank you all so much for having me. Hey, Rachel. So my name is Shana M. Jenkins. I am the CEO and the principal designer of A Stiletto Decor Interiors, where we don't just decorate rooms, but we create bold, statement-making interiors that help you to function beautifully in your everyday life.
Okay.
A lot of people think interior design is just about making stuff pretty. And I tell people all the time, the pretty is the icing on the cake. You want to make sure that it looks good, but that you can function, you can walk around, you can have peace in your home. And that's what I bring to every client.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, where are you from? Humble beginnings. What made you want to do interior decorating? Things of that nature.
Yes. So I'm actually born and raised on the south side of Chicago. I currently live in the south suburbs. I went to Eastern Illinois University. And so I actually went to school. I got my bachelor's degree in fashion merchandising. But we know how that goes. You go to school, you get a degree, and then you decide that you don't want to do it later. The blessing in that story is with my fashion merchandising degree, a lot of that with like the fabrics, the textiles, the color palettes and things like that was able to spill over into interior design. And so when I was in college, I had two roommates, and probably like every week they would come home and we would have new pillows. We would have like different furniture arrangements. I was rearranging our apartment. And so my roommate was like, why don't you just do interior design? And I didn't even know it was a real thing. I'm like, what is that? So I started looking it up. I did finish getting my degree in fashion merchandising because I was not going to have my parents killing me because I switched and went rogue. Rachel, I didn't even know going rogue was like part of my lifestyle back in the day.
Girl, so, I know it's part of your lifestyle because you ain't never stopped going rogue.
Wow, but when I finished, I just I got certified to do interior decorating. I started at Walter E. Smith in Orland Park. If you all are familiar with it, it's a high-end interior design showroom, and they trained you from top to bottom, inside and out, like on how to just identify, like it's a custom furniture store. So I got my beginnings in custom furniture. I then went to work for a company called Scott Shiptrine Interiors. If you've all ever heard of Art Van Furniture, they used to have a design gallery in one of the northern suburbs of Chicago. And so I was there for a few years. Then I went to 3-Day Blinds to learn how to do custom window treatments. And then I just started my own business.
It seems like God was preparing you for your purpose.
I believe it wholeheartedly. I tell people all the time, I'm like, sometimes, if you don't know me or you hear me tell my story, like it looks like I've jumped jobs, and I said, because I've never meant to be one person that just stays in one thing. Like I'm a creative. So I'm so flamboyant. Like I have big ideas, and I didn't want to just stay in one spot, only focusing on one thing. And sometimes with companies, which is why I stepped away from corporate America a little over a year ago, they want you to just focus, on the one thing. So it was just furniture, and if I'm like, I need to know how to really do custom window treatments. I need to know how to pick floors. I need to know how to do all of this because I knew that I had a bigger purpose than just working for somebody else and building somebody else's business.
That part. It sounds like you were in a lot of great places. I mean, because, being from Chicago, I am familiar with all of those places that you spoke upon. So It sounds like you are already heading towards the CEO mindset.
I believe the mindset was always there. I just needed somebody like Coach Rachel L. Gary to bring it out of me. And that is exactly what she did. Rachel was is an answered prayer. So this is my second season on the CEO Mastermind. And it was funny because, like I said, I stepped away from corporate America a little over a year ago, and I'll have clients, but I didn't really have any structure to my business. I'm like, I know how to decorate a room. If I come across people, somebody who needs something, like I can offer the services, but I was like, I need structure. I am all over the place. I'm not working. I'm not going back to work. And then Rachel, like Natalie mentioned, is also a Distinguished Authors Guild winner. I am also a Distinguished Authors Guild winner. And we connected at one of the events, and Rachel was like, you got to do my class. And I'm like, why wouldn't I? Because you are exactly what I prayed for.
I know that's right, Lou. When you're walking with a purpose, God just put you here, sprinkle you when you need to.
Gary, shout out to Gary for the answers that's being answered, the prayers that's being answered for seeds for people that are potentially CEOs.
Shayna, I have to say this, guys. Shayna is such a joy. I mean, even though she goes rogue, I am always delighted every time I talk with her because she always has a message and a mission towards that message. And it makes it very easy to work with her. So, I mean, I have been honored to work with her for the last 48 weeks. And but at the end of the day, it's all about preparation and growth. And she's growing. She's been growing so much, so often. And the project she's doing right now, I know she can't speak on it yet. I can't wait till she does because the project she's working on right now is probably 30 times greater than she ever thought was possible.
Absolutely. Thank you, Rachel.
She stepped into her greatness. And that's when you turn your passion into profits.
So with that being said, because you did go into the program, what made you go into the program? Why did you feel like Rachel L. Gary was the place and the person that you needed to put you where you needed to be? Tell us the who, what, where, when's, and why to get you where you got today with Rachel L. Gary.
Right. So we met at an event, like I said, at an Authors Guild event. And what I love most about Rachel is Rachel knew a lot about me and what I had done before we had ever even met in person. So like we knew of each other at first, but Rachel took the things that she learned about me from social media, my passion. Like I have a youth program. She knew I was doing interior design. She knows, she knew things about me. And so when she, offered me to come to her program, she was able to curate a vision for me, a plan for me based off what she knew about me, as opposed to what worked for her and her other clients. And so, I've had people reach out to me before, offer me help. And I don't click with everybody. I'm very elaborate. You know, I have a very, very big imagination. And sometimes people who are so rigid and so structured and so this, you know, this is how I've done it and this is how you have to do it if you want to be successful, that doesn't work for me. It's like an automatic turnoff. And so Rachel took what I was passionate about and said, this is what I already know about you and who you are. This is what I think will work for you. What do you think? And she built my plan based off of what I do versus what she thought would help me. And it just worked, you know, and her energy is amazing. You know, she has a bright personality like I do. So she just makes it fun, you know. It's not just work. It's not just business. You know, her energy is like, okay, you know, it makes me want to get pumped up. You can sit on the phone all day and just talk to stale people. And I'm like, I'm hyper, you know, so Rachel hyper. I'm like, yeah, like, come on, let's like, she gets me excited about stuff that I've been doing for years. And so I really appreciate that. And, you know, it works. Like she said, like, so the running joke with me is like, I always go rogue. Like if there's a plan, the first thing I'm gonna do is not stick to it. I don't do it on purpose. I just like, well, what about this? And what about that? And so when I do tend to venture off, I have Rachel's plan that is exactly what I need it to be, that brings me back and keeps me in order. And so I just really appreciate that.
So basically part of your CEO mindset was keeping yourself grounded when you do find yourself drifting off. Because a lot of creators are like that too. I'm a creative, and every now and again, you know, we get in our own zone sometimes. So we have to be brought back down to earth. So that's one of the things that you gain from the CEO mindset. And you're here for the second season.
Absolutely.
Right? Tell us about that.
So I wasn't finished after the first season. I needed the momentum, you know, so we did the first 10 weeks and that laid the groundwork for the program, you know, for my business. And, you know, Rachel invited me back and I learned so much in that first season that I wanted to continue learning. And I was just grateful that she, you know, wanted me to be a part of it as well. And so what I love most, like the difference between season 2 and then season 3, which I've been a part of it. I can even see Rachel's growth in the plans. You know, her first plan that she wrote out for me, it was perfect, but it also had like, it was very, you know, creative. It really spoke to who I am. So it drew me in, you know, even with like the fonts and the colors and things that she, you know, put in the plan. But the second time she was like, we not playing. We got structure, we got KPIs, we got phone calls. And so I needed that. It's like she drew me in with her character and her personality. But then it was like, okay, but now we down to business because we got to get you making money, especially because we are in operation, Shayna not going back to work. So, you know, so I appreciated her, you know, really drawing me in. Baby, never going back. You know, drawing me in and, you know, really, but having the business, like she actually has the wisdom, you know, she actually takes the time to see about me and make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do and offers advice that's relevant to what I'm doing, not just to what's relevant to her and her building her business or anybody else. Like, I feel like Rachel really, like, she understands me. And a lot of people don't get me. And Rachel gets me. I'm like, oh, you all right with me.
We rocking, we rolling. I know that's right. Even in these couple minutes, it's just been very delightful because, baby, your energy, okay?
That's your day, isn't it, y'all? I'm telling you.
Like I said, I'm so sorry.
I'll be on the phone with a 15-minute call with Shayna for another hour.
Let me tell you this. And what about this, Rachel? I had this idea. What you think?
It's a hard thing to come by.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Genuine people, genuine energy, being able to grow and through each other. You know what I mean? Learn things and grow and gain knowledge and be yourself.
Yes. I can definitely be myself with Rachel and be held accountable to sticking to business.
Okay. You have any questions, Steph?
No, I just wanted to say that, of course, Shayna Jenkins is an interior designer.
Yes.
And one of the #1 interior designers, if you guys did not know. And of course, the energy that Shayna Jenkins has, it couldn't get no better than that to be able to call an interior designer that has one of the best personalities, one of the greatest energetic mentor is Miss Rachel L. Gary. So if you could just tell the audience, where could they, if they wanted an interior designer, how could they contact Miss Shayna Jenkins?
Yes, so you can go to my website at www.astiletto, like the shoe, decor-tpw.com. You can also follow me on social media at my interior design page, A Stiletto Decor LLC, and by my Facebook name, Shayna Jenkins.
And one more question for you, Miss Shayna Jenkins. Being an interior designer, what motivated you to, because your scene, like our scenes in the background, it's very important about how living room look and things like that. What made you just say, hey, I want to decorate? Because of course designing is about decorating. What made you just really invest into making things comfortable, because your home has to be comfortable, your events have to be comfortable? What made you just walk out on faith and say, hey, I want to be an interior designer?
Absolutely. Good question. So when I was in college, like I said, I started in college with my two roommates and decorating our apartment, but it was so therapeutic for me. It was like, I do believe, I tell people, like, colors are big. You can have dark colors that'll make you feel gloomy, or you can have bright colors that'll make you feel happy. And so our apartment, with the furniture that was in our apartment, was given to us, by the apartment complex, but everything was just so dull and so tan. And so I'm like, we need light blue pillows, and we needed things that liven things up. And so when I realized how passionate I was about it, how it made me feel, I'm like, I wanted to make other people feel that way too. I'm a firm believer in, your house is your sanctuary. You want to feel good in your home. You don't want to always have to go outside. You want to feel comfortable in your space. You want to be relaxed. And so how can you do that? Huh?
The feng shui.
The feng shui, yes. It's about the colors. The colors are important. It's about the size of the furniture. And some people want to know, what's the difference between a decorator and a designer? There's a big difference. The decorator, may know a little bit, they can put the pillows together and bring a room together nicely, but how do you function in that space? If your sofa is too big and you can't get it through the door, you're mad because now you got to return it and pay a restocking fee. But I can help you measure, and make sure that you have a sofa that's not too big, that's not too small. Make sure that if you're adding accessories and chairs, that, there's a good traffic flow between the space, so the family's not bumping into each other. I just make it functional, and that creates an atmosphere where you can feel relaxed and peaceful in your home. And I really believe in giving that to other people.
Great. So there you have it, guys. Of course, if you guys are just tuning in, this is the CEO Mindset Takeover with CEOs. And right now we do have Miss Shayna Jenkins, interior designer. And Miss Shayna Jenkins, could you please tell the Takeover audience, how could they contact you if they need an interior designer again?
Absolutely. You can follow me at my website, www.astilettodecor-cpw.com. You can follow me on Instagram at Astiletto Decor LLC. You can follow me on Facebook at Shayna Jenkins. So I'm sorry, Miss Sunflower, you said you had another question. I don't know if that was from here for stuff.
I have one more question, and I'm gonna leave it be.
That's okay.
My question to you is, because we're kind of still geared towards the leadership program with Rachel Geary. Can you tell me some core values that you have taken away from the program that you are going to take and put into your business as well?
Sticking to the plan. I think that's the biggest one. And the reason why I say that is, so for example, a project that I just completed, right? Sat down with the client, we did the consultation. We had a whole plan set out. We were going to do this design on this wall, and halfway through the project, Shayna went rogue, and we were only going to do wallpaper on a small portion. But I was like, but it's so pretty. Like, I want to do the whole wall, and it's going to be great. And not only did that end up taking us outside of our budget, even though the client was okay, she was slightly okay with it, but she was like, listen, like, we're going a little bit beyond budget. But then the wallpaper didn't even stick to the wall. It was defective. And so she came home one day and all the wallpaper was on the floor. I was like, that's okay. I'm gonna fix it. And I bought some glue and I stuck it back up there. Girl, that paper came falling down again. And so I had to really just sit down and think, like, okay, God, like, what am I doing? And he was like, the wallpaper, that wasn't in the plan. And so and so when I took it down, when I tell you the room was beautiful, we ended up getting back within budget. We still finished pretty much by our time frame, and the client was very happy overall. And so it just was a reflection to me, like, it's important to stick to the plan. And I do, as a creative, as a designer, I do believe there are some things that you can deviate from. But when it comes down to like the nitty gritty, like the plan is there for a reason. Especially if it's a God-given plan, like, you have to stick to it because it's not going to work. It's not going to work when you go rogue. And so now I'm in the position where I ask God, like, okay, God,
Mm-hmm.
Look, cannot go rogue, but this is what I'm thinking. Like, what do you think about it? And I really have to just adhere to that voice and just hear, because otherwise I'm gonna keep messing up. And I plan to have, way bigger. This was a home office project. I just finished the basement also. Like, I have other things in store that if I don't stick to the plan, it's gonna fall apart. And then I'll be out here looking crazy. And I don't want to shame me. I don't want to shame my mentor. I don't want to shame God. I don't want to shame my business. So you gotta, that's the wisdom in it. Because I will tell you any other, like, I have a journal called Butterflies Are Not to Fly. Butterflies are meant to fly, not to be kept in a jar. Because I want to fly and be free. But sometimes the wisdom is sticking to the plan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, it sounds like with that office situation, God put you in a situation to see where you had to stick to the program. So, everything happened for a reason, right?
Absolutely.
Reasons and seasons, people, places, and things.
Absolutely. And I believe it's for a season. There are some seasons that are going to, cause me to be creative, but like in the season that I'm trying to actually like build and solidify like the foundation of my business so I can actually be a real well-oiled machine business, the plan is there for a reason. Stick to it.
We got this, girl. You got it. Right.
There you have it, guys. There you have it, guys. Thank you so much for joining the CEO Mindset Takeover with Rachel L. Gary presents the Real Life Topics podcast, guys. And if you need that interior designer, please hit Miss Shayna Jenkins up, guys. I'm just saying. So, what's up next? Michael and Michelle Cooper, couples coach. It's the CEO Mindset Takeover, guys, with Real Life Topics podcast. Your girl Stephanie's God's Child and Carmisha the Sunflower Soul. Rachel L. Gary presents, guys. And now we have Michael and Michelle Cooper, the couples coach. I love the title of the couples coach. Welcome to the CEO Mindset Takeover, guys. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yes. So the couples coach, could you please tell the CEO Mindset Takeover Real Life Topics podcast audience, Rachel L. Gary's audience, who is Michael and Michelle Cooper, the couples coach?
Yeah, go ahead. All right. Good evening, everyone. We are coaches, Michael and Michelle Cooper. We are certified marriage facilitators. We are co-authors in 2 anthologies, and we are CEOs of Better Together Coaching. And what we do, we help couples improve communication, reconnect practically, emotionally through biblical teachings. And what it is, they have a personalized assessment that they do. We get that back. We discuss where their strengths are, where their weaknesses are, and we help them blend together.
Yeah, we definitely help them look forward, not back. We start from where they are and help them go forward, grow stronger together.
Yes.
You want me to go? Okay, well, I can start. Okay. So first of all, I have to speak upon the name Michael and Michelle. Sound like it was meant to be in the first place. It was meant to be from the beginning, okay? And then Cooper, like couple, kind of same thing. I like. Okay,
right. So you know what that play on words, Carmisha.
I love it.
Oh God, with people in space, and it sound like y'all was meant to be, and especially to even guide others. So my question to you all will be, because of course, before we got to Miss Rachel L. Gary, we already had a line of work that we were doing. You sound like you were already coaching couples. So what is the basis of what you do as far as coaching your couples?
So we essentially were focusing on marriage ministry. We were involved in marriage ministry. We've been doing marriage ministry for 17 years, doing marriage retreats for 12. And we've been coaching couples all this time, but we weren't monetizing the process. We spent a lot of time pouring into people at 3 in and 3 in. People could call us and talk to us and glean from us whenever they wanted. But when they went to get help from other people, they paid those other people. We realized we were leaving money on the table. So that's why we ventured into code, and we've been certified for a while. We got certified. We've been certified for over 10 years, but we just never really looked at the possibility of monetizing it, and that's why we wanted to take that route. Our latest certification through CrumbleKnot really put us in a position to actively start coaching couples from a monetary point of view.
Yeah.
Well, so it sounds like it came from a labor of love initially.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it was actually a hard transition because we just felt like we were giving couples what they needed when they needed it. But as I've shared several times on the show, my former pastor told me, at one point in time, he said, salvation is free, but ministry costs money. And your time is worth something.
Yeah.
Okay, so which brings us back to coaching, because you got with Rachel L. Geary. So how did you meet her? Give us a little bit of background about your personal selves.
So actually, we received a message saying, you guys are going to be in this class called Mastermind. I'm like, this what? This who? And so I'm always hesitant, especially if I don't know anything about anything. So everything went so fast. I think we got the message on like Tuesday night. On Thursday afternoon, we were in a one-on-one session with Rachel. She came with this, 10-week plan. I mean, she had it all together. I'm like, and as Shayna said, she knew about us. I'm like, oh, okay, she did a little homework. She might be able to, And so, I mean, it's like we got into this class and the structure, the discipline, the connection. I mean, there's always follow-up after each class. There's always motivation before each class. It was like, okay, we might be on to something, because that's what I feel that we were missing from moving forward as coaches. You know what I'm saying? Somebody call us, we there. But we didn't have a real structure. We didn't have office hours. Like you said, they call it 3:00 in the morning text. I feel like I'm a responder. You text me, I'm answering. So, I mean, and this mindset class is totally mind blowing.
So within these 9 weeks, outside of the structure element, what more have you gained? And do you see yourself maybe coming for a season 2 as well? Or do you think after these 10 weeks, you will be prepared to go out into the world and conquer, like you say, those 6 figures, and actually putting forth monetary value to the work that you're doing?
Oh, and now that you mentioned, I already thought about telling Rachel that we'll be back. So, Rachel, we'll be back. I just feel like there's more.
You're definitely all welcome.
I just feel like there's more to learn. I mean, you gather your little nuggets here, but you need to expand at some point. Otherwise, you'll stay stuck. And that's where we were at one point, stuck. So I definitely feel like there's more to learn. And I'm willing. I'm soaking up like a sponge.
So what are some takeaways that you can, maybe some words of wisdom, even about the actual class that you can give to those who are maybe looking to go into the coaching that Rachel L. Geary is giving?
Yeah, there's so many takeaways of just talking to other people and learning from other people. But the biggest thing is know why you're doing what you're doing. Understanding why you're doing what you're doing. We have a real strong why about what we're doing, but we had to fine tune it based on not just ministry, but finances.
Yeah.
I mean, do we really want to continue working 40 hours a week and then, working another 40 hours a week doing ministry, then another 20 hours a week doing coaching? How can we tailor it in such a way that we are giving our best efforts or our efforts in an area that helps us and builds us and it grows us and grows our business and our ministry, as opposed to continuing to build things for other people.
Like you said, you can't pour from an empty cup, and at some point in time, you have to also invest into yourself. I mean, that's the reality of life.
Absolutely.
What it is. You have any questions, Gotcha?
Yes. How many years has it been since you guys woke up and walked out on faith and said, hey, we need to be a couple's life coach? How long has it been when you guys just woke up one day and said, you know what, we're gonna open the door for this. We're gonna walk out on faith. We need to be an inspiration for other couples.
So that's a good question, and I'll answer that with, as far as me, I didn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? But I was doing it. Everybody's like, you're already doing it. I'm like, no, I didn't want to do it. There's no other way to put it. I wanted to help. That's why I just felt like I was just helping somebody. I'm giving you wisdom. I'm sharing wisdom. You know, we're moving forward together, but I didn't consider it coaching. I'm just being your friend. I'm just, you know, if your marriage survives, you know, we helping each other. You know, iron sharpens iron. So I don't know when that light bulb came on for me.
Well, I know for us, we started this our initial ministry started at Sweetest Day.
2007.
Sweetest Day 2007. We had a dinner with 2 other couples, and it was so good. We came back the next month and did it again, and the next month and did it again, and 17 years later, we're still doing it. You know, at some point in there, I believe it was 2012, we had our first couples retreat. But all throughout that process, we were coaching couples. All throughout that process, we were talking to couples. I tell the guys all the time, call me at 3 o'clock in the morning. I can talk you off a ledge. I can't bail you out of jail. you know, so that was my spiel. So we've always reached out to people. We've always talked to people. And like she said, even though she said she didn't want to do it, what she said she didn't want to do, she was doing already. You know, what she said she didn't want to do, we were doing already. We were just not doing it officially and not doing it in such a way that it was a business, so to speak. And so we really had to change our mindset because we recognize, and I'll just say this, you know, we've been married for 34 years and we've seen a lot of things happen. We've had couples who we have shared with and poured our hearts into for free, who have gone and paid other marriage coaches $6,000. You know, and then turn around, come back to us seeking more information. I'm like, you know, so that really opened our eyes. It's like, okay, wait a minute, hold on, wait, they paid them how much? And you know, and so yeah, so it's been great watching her flourish. It's been great watching her grow. It's been great watching her walking to her own on this journey.
You said you didn't at one point it was something that you didn't realize that you were really coaching, and you was like, hey, but I don't want to be, I guess, basically a broadcaster of it or whatnot. What can you share with me? What couple and or what made you change your decision on saying, hey, even though you did say, hey, I was doing this already in so many forms of fashion, but now it is time for us to push it and broadcast it and let the world know this is what we're going to do. Was there a particular motivational couple or a couple that said, you know what, I gotta get this done, even though I don't want to do it? That the advice that I gave to this couple, what was your biggest success story? What was you guys' biggest success story when you were advising couples?
So we had a couple that pretty much started out in the beginning with us. They were going to our monthly events, our couples retreats, and they end up getting divorced. And they turned around and got remarried. And when she called me and said, it's because of you guys, the information that you guys gave us, we had the tools along the way provided by you, we just never used them. And so now they remarried, been back together for what, maybe, I don't know, over 10 years since then. 10 years, yeah. So, I mean, to know that what we're sharing, what we're giving out is actually working, I'm like, oh, we got to keep doing this. You know, so, I mean, it was, that one couple definitely stands out the most.
Do you have any experience of any failures for couples that you that you have experienced that maybe you can look at and say, oh, maybe if we would have gave them that direction or something, maybe it would have been different? If any couples that you see that might not have worked out, did you learn anything from that mishap that might have happened?
Well, one thing I know we struggle with is watching couples not stay together. We struggle with that for a long time because people are going to get married, people are going to get divorced, people are going to reconcile, but it's going to happen with or without us. Unfortunately, there are going to be couples that come to our retreats, couples that we coach that still don't stay together. and it hurts. It hurts pouring into people and watching people who were in leadership in different places, people who spent years teaching other couples get divorced. But what we had to realize is that you can give people all of the tools. They can know all the tools. They can understand everything about relationships, everything about how to fix things. They can tell you how to fix your relationship. But if they don't take the time, energy, and effort to pour into themselves and pour into their own relationship and build themselves up, it's not going to succeed. And there's nothing we can do about that. We have to not make it personal and take it away from. It's really our responsibility to give the tools, to build the faith, and allow God to work through them to do what he wants to do in their marriage. And they have to be willing and receptive to it.
So, Miss Rachel L. Gary, the CEO Mindset Program, what value did Miss Rachel L. Gary bring to Mr. and Mrs. Cooper?
Definitely structure. Like I said, when I got that 10-week plan, I'm like, and the thing about it, it's all doable.
Right.
She didn't ask us anything out of the ordinary, nothing that isn't, achievable. Like the plan is basic, is like I said, doable. I mean, it's
basic, but it's tailored. It's tailored for you.
Yeah.
It's tailored for your business. It's tailored for your lifestyle. It's tailored. It fits you exactly.
Yeah.
It's not boilerplate. It's not. She didn't come in and say, okay, I'm going to get everybody the same thing. It is tailored towards the business, tailored towards the CEO, tailored towards exactly what you're doing. And she's there to support you. She's there to motivate you. She's there to kick you in the butt if needed. And it helps.
Yeah. Were there any self-realizations that you had amongst each other within this coaching session?
Oh.
Don't be trying to hide nothing like y'all had that box.
What'd you say, Rachel?
I said, don't be hiding things like y'all had in that box.
So, I already knew that he likes to procrastinate on things. So, it wasn't a self-realization. It was a couple's realization. Like, we really, really have to work together in order to make this work. Yeah.
We had to find our lanes and really lock into our lanes.
Because when you love each other, some things you might not want to say. It's like, okay, so Miss Rachel, she brought out the things that probably were underlying that you didn't probably know or didn't want to talk about. Certain things that you have to. Sometimes you need a mediator to kind of bring you all together so you can kind of be more cohesive, especially when you're trying to grow. So
yeah, I am a worker bee. She's the leader bee. And I say that because she's the most organized person I know. She's the most organized person I know. She's gonna maintain structure. She's gonna keep the schedule. She's gonna I know exactly what's coming in, what's going out, and all that stuff. And I understand all of that stuff. But a lot of times, I operate where I shine. She operates where she shines. And it was really important to start. It was really important to really lay the groundwork and understand that. And in order for us to work and grow in this business together, we had to do that because most people with us were used to me being out front. I was in the forefront most of the time as it relates to ministry. But when it comes to coaching, she's in the forefront. So that was different for a lot of people.
So do you believe that this coaching actually helped you all to see the blind spaces that you maybe didn't see from the beginning to bring you all together to be able to make the money?
Oh, absolutely. And I think we're still learning some things, though. I don't think we've gotten there yet, which no one has arrived yet. But I do see growth. I do see us working more together, like being more cohesive.
It works right now. I like it. I love it. I'm grateful.
Yeah.
Well, guys, if you guys are tuning in, this is Real Life Topics Podcast with the CEO Mindset Takeover with Rachel L. Gary. And of course, we do have Mr. Michelle and Michael Cooper. the couples coach on deck. And the couples coach, could you please let Rachel L. Gary and Real Life Topics podcast audience know how could they contact you? Any couples that's out there and they need a coach, how could they contact you guys?
And y'all need that box. Get the box.
Yes, get that box that Rachel's talking about.
Rachel's talking about our couples connection experience is what she's talking about. We have a couples connection experience where we will actually we do our marriage retreat, but we will send a marriage retreat like experience directly into your home. You know, so you can actually go onto our website, c2b1ministry.com. You can get our free ebook. You can sign up for our couples connection box, as she calls it. We call it couples connection experience. And we will send that experience directly to you.
Where are y'all located? Where are you from? Tell us a little bit like those parts. Where are you from? Where you located?
We are in the suburbs. We are in Homewood, Illinois.
Okay, you're in Illinois. Okay.
Homewood, Illinois. She's from South Shore. I'm from Joliet. We met in Ohio.
Okay.
And the full circle moment, wasn't it, y'all?
It was meant. That's what it sounded like. It was meant to be.
Yeah. But like I said, it's c2b1ministry.com, or you can reach us at 708-872-0463, 708-872-OGOD.
Well, there you have it, guys. Mrs. Michelle and Michael Cooper, one of the best couples coaches in the state of Illinois, guys. Make sure you guys tune in to them, follow, like, share. And this is the Real Life Topics podcast, CEO Mindset Takeover, guys. And what we have up next is Miss Riza Cooper, the clothing brand. I'm just saying, the clothing brand. If she's still here, I want you guys to welcome to Real Life Topics podcast, the CEO Mindset Takeover, Riza Cooper, one of the best clothing line brands ever. Could you please tell Real Life Topics podcast, the CEO Mindset Takeover, presented by Miss Rachel L. Gary? Please let everyone know, who is Miss Riza Cooper? Can you hear us?
I don't know. I don't think so.
She can't hear?
No.
She can't hear us? Okay, so how about we just move on to the next, and that's Miss Amina Baker, and while we try to fix our technical difficulties. Miss Amina Baker, the voice of the city.
Come on, where y'all at, ladies?
The voice of the city. The voice of the city is in the building. The voice of the city is in the building, guys, on Real Life Topics podcast with the CEO Mindset Takeover, guys. Please welcome the voice of the city, Miss Amina Baker, guys. Miss Amina Baker, the voice of the city, one of the best CEOs, one of the best radio personalities, the new modern day Oprah, of course, is in the building with the Chicago Takeover. Welcome, Miss Amina Baker.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you for having me. True blessing to be here with you ladies. Big salute to you guys. Real Life Topics podcast. You know how much I love you ladies. So thank you so much. And thank you, Rachel, for featuring us here today on the show.
Yes. So Miss Amina Baker, the voice of the city. Could you please tell Real Life Topics podcast audience, Rachel L. Gary audience, and of course, Miss Amina Baker audience, just in case they don't know who you are. Could you please tell them, who is Miss Amina Baker?
Oh man, I am Amina Salah Baker, also known as Ms. Mina Brown Diva. I'm the CEO of a company called Miss Mina Media. And what I do is simple. I specialize in visibility and branding and what I call strategic promotion, just making sure that people are getting seen and getting heard and getting the opportunities they deserve. So I help entrepreneurs, artists, brands, anybody that has amazing products or amazing stories. I just basically help them to be seen and heard out here in the world and find ways for them to actually build their brand, create connections, and get paid for it, okay? Get some money in their pocket.
Okay, so you ready? You gonna shoot? You go? What we doing? How we doing this? I could take off. You go? Okay, I'll ask.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so I mean, of course, I mean, because we kind of got a little backstory because we kind of have a little bit of history with each other. But I'm going to still ask you, what brought you to the CEO mindset? What made you believe that you needed to do this coaching? How did Miss L. Gary get in your life and take you from there?
Man, okay. So connecting with Rachel, you guys know I have a show on my radio Chicago every Friday from 3 to 5, the afternoon rendezvous. And just connecting with Rachel around at the radio station. I met her, I saw her, and instantly I was like, okay, who is this person? Like she was so influential, just a breath of fresh air coming into the studio. And we connected, I would say intellectually first, just us talking. She and liked the stuff that I was doing. I loved the stuff that she was doing, and we connected. And what she did was help me to get involved. First thing that she actually did was hired me to do her book launch for hashtag the poverty six figures. What we did was to help her sell tickets, to help her get some visibility for the event that she had going on. And so after that, yes, there's the book right there. So after that, Rachel, she just was like, this book, I teach a class. And there's a lot of gaps. Like I feel like every business has gaps in it, where you can be doing better. And Rachel, man, she just is, I don't know, she's just exceptional. I really feel like I'm that type of person. If I can't be the smartest person in the room, I'm not the richest person in the room. I need to know somebody doing better than me. I need to know somebody who has experience and has done a lot. So working with Rachel, it changed my life. Like just like Shayna said earlier, I'm a second go around her. So I did season 2 with the CEO mindset, and it really, really changed my business. Like it upped my business so much. I think that what it was is she gave me structure. Sometimes when you have a business, you think you got it all together and you think you got it, but Rachel will come in and be like, "No, pimping, you're missing a few things, especially when you're not financially where you want to be." So, working with Rachel, it's just been crazy. She's powerful, she's smart, she finds strategies. One of the other CEOs said today, it's like she just comes up with these plans, and that's one thing that I love about it. Everybody's plan is different. The first time when I saw what she was doing, I asked her like, how the heck you take 10 different people with 10 different businesses, 10 different personalities, and make a plan for all of them for us to work at the same time? And somehow she does it. She just researches you, she finds out what you need, she gets that visibility, and she changes it. And I promise you, my business has been doing much better since working with Rachel. So she better be ready because she stuck with me, okay?
So where
Please
where
don't
were the
go
areas that you
too.
felt like you lacked before the CEO
Um,
mindset, outside of just your structure? Where were some of
I
the
think
holes that you have
it had
filled
to be
in?
it had to be strategy. I think what my biggest thing was I was doing everything. Like I'm really that person that I feel like I can do everything. If a person need a gardener, goddamn it, I'm out there like, look, I'm gonna plant these seeds. But what she had to do was she made me focus in on what I really was good at. Forget all them 10 things you do. What is that thing that you do that you can actually help people with? And that's when I turned my whole company, like from all of the stuff that I was doing was I realized all I'm doing is helping people rebrand. I am rebranding people's business. And when I locked into literally focusing on that, I start getting more clients. I start getting people to see it. I start showing what I was doing, and it just turned everything around. I used to be afraid to put the money out there and charge, you know what I mean, stuff. I used to be like, I don't know. And she made me like, look, if they want the work, they got to get it done. If they want something done, don't low blow yourself. And now, shoot, I be like, don't play with it. It's the stuff that we need only because she knows how hard I work. If I'm gonna work on your campaign, if I'm gonna do stuff, believe me, I'm definitely gonna do that. So I'm a finisher. And right now, Rachel hired me to be her campaign director for her latest book, which is Freedom Has GPS. I'm talking about it's all about helping people to find direction in their life, not only like mentally, emotionally, but financially. So it's like she's my client and my coach at the same time, you know. So I just feel like Rachel has done a lot to help with my business as far as that she made me kind of hone in on exactly what it is I'm doing and expand on it.
So I'm pretty sure that you have people that you work with.
Yeah.
Excuse me. You have people that you work with. So what are some things that you are going to take from the CEO Mindset Masterclass and actually implement them with maybe some of the people that you work with to help them? Because I'm pretty, each one teach one. So I'm pretty sure there are some things now that Rachel has, come into your life, that there are things that you see within people around you that maybe need, maybe some fine tuning or some improvement. What are things that you take away to put into and so into your actual business itself?
Hey, they doing it right now. My team is in the chat. They are posting. They hear. One thing that Rachel did is what she teaches me, I teach them. I pass everything right along to my team. I've had Rachel literally sit in and come speak at some of my team meetings to tell them about how great they are, what it means to be with the Ms. Mina Media Company. So I feel like right now, big salute to my whole team. They in the chat. They letting people know what our business is. They putting our links in there. They adding the stuff in for them to follow us. They telling, come on and get your consultation today. So I just got to say that everything that she taught me, I'm passing it right along to them. We are in a millionaire mindset. You know what I mean? We in a growth mindset, CEO mindset. I let everybody know on my team, like, y'all not just working with Ms. Mina Media Company. You are your own brand, your own entity. My team has Lady Red, the producer. She's got Lady Red Productions now. She is making her own thing. It's not, you're not stuck just with this company. You need to expand and grow as we grow together. Mush make them laugh. She's out of school. She's got her own business now. She's going through CEO state of mind. I put all them in the class too.
Okay.
Because I was like, man, if I'm gonna get these gems, I'm not a gatekeeper. I want my team to get the same gems. And then when you go to Rachel's class, don't go as Ms. Mina Media. Go as you. Go as your passion. Go for what it is that you do. And that's what Rachel does. She takes your passion. And so again, Mush make them laugh with her comedic stuff. She's an amazing host. We building on her team. I've been building on her business. Then we got E Money, Erica. Like everybody on my team, they are learning, they're producing, they're taking everything that we're doing and they're building on it. We make sure every room that we go in, we find out who's the most important, who's running stuff, who needs to be seen, and who needs help. So my team, they taking all the gems that I get, I'm passing them right on down to them so they can get it, and we all learn it together.
Oh, so my question is, because this is your second season. At the end of this 10 weeks, are you going to be ready to take off and do exactly what Rachel has shown you to do?
Heck yeah! Like I listen to Rachel. She think I don't listen. She think I do.
Guys, I gotta make her pause a second. She do not listen. No, yes, I gotta say this part while she don't hear. And I know she listens. I give her a hard time because I don't want her to be complacent. So I want to say it on air. I think she listens. I think she's paying attention all the time. I just think that I want to push her to be the best version of her. So just like today, we had a conversation that pushed her out of her comfort zone, pushed her right into being the CEO that I know she was and know she is. So when she stepped into that, I had to make sure that I remind her, you're not just doing this for you. You're doing this for Miss Mina Media. You're doing this for all of those people who are looking up to you, all those people that see you out there. They see you make a change. They see you pivot. There's going to be people out there who are not going to like that pivot, but you're pivoting on purpose. There's a difference. So
yes,
I don't hear me. I just got to give you a hard time so you can keep pushing. So
oh my gosh, she give me the hardest time. But what Rachel does, she put me in the room.
Too, you know how, because in our minds we adults, so we don't need and I got this, but that's not always the case. And so sometimes you have to come to those self-realizations within yourself, like, hey, you know what do I need? Let me get somebody who's looking from the outside looking in, because in our minds, like you said, we think we got it all together. We can pull all the rabbits out the hats and do this and do that, but sometimes it takes from somebody from the outside looking in and say, look, sit down and do it like this, okay? And revamp yourself. Sometimes you have to take a step back and reevaluate and realize certain things about yourself. So it is good to have a person like Miss Rachel L. Gary in your corner to be able to see those things, because that's actually a specialty that you have. For you to be able to put things together, specialize plans for people, that's a God-given gift within itself. So yeah.
No, I call myself a strategist because the reason being is that I take very complex situations and make them as simple as possible. So the reason why everyone's plan was simple, because simple makes it easy for you to digest. Mm-hmm. Now I tell everyone everything I'm always going to talk about is going to be simple, but it's not going to be easy. You're never going to hear me say easy. You're going to hear me say simple, but that means you got to put in the work. These plans is a plan. We work together. We do not work. I'm not giving you the answers. We're working on the answers together for growth, because you grow through those lessons.
So what was the hardest realization within this coaching about yourself that you had to come to grips with?
For me, probably that I ain't got it all together. You know what I mean? Like, as much as I think that I do, sometimes I also have to know that I need to slow down. Chapter 1 in her book, hashtag Poverty to Six Figures, talks about the 4 pillars of self. And I'm still working on that because I'm not taking care. I'm the self-awareness, all of this stuff. I never am taking care of myself. I do so much for everybody that sometimes that she's like, you have to find that time to really get yourself together, because how can you help others and have a mindset of this if you're not there, mentally? So that's why I say a lot of the stuff that she helps with is not just like financially or with your business. She is really your mindset. You know what I mean? You really got to take care of yourself. And sometimes I don't do that until it's, I guess, too late. You know what I mean? Oh, we can't hear you, Rachel.
We can't hear you.
Hold on, I want to take a second. 1 second. Just 1 second. I'm going to tell you I am proud of you for admitting that today. I am proud of you for admitting that today. I want to take a second with that. I am proud of you for admitting that today. We had a long conversation and almost an argument about it a couple of days ago, and I am so proud of you for today for admitting it. And hopefully tomorrow you're gonna do what you're supposed to do, so you can be loving in the overflow of you.
Yes, I am. I do. Like I say, I have to let's stop sometimes and say, no, I gotta take care of myself, because if at the end of the day, if you don't take care of yourself, you're gonna be gone. You know what I mean? If you don't, you run yourself into the ground and you flat out kill yourself, who's gonna take care of your kids? Who's gonna run your business? So at the end of the day, all of this business stuff, what she made me realize is that I have to take care of myself. You know what I mean? Get my own stuff together and make sure that I take some time to just relax, to chill. You know what I mean? Not that like we spoke about.
Hold on, chill.
But you know, ain't no time to waste out here. Time is money. But at the same time, we say time is money, but if you ain't taking time for yourself to rest, take vitamins, drink water, take a walk, you know what I mean? Stuff like that, then your business can breathe. Thank you, Carmisha. She gonna love you forever for that.
Carmisha, you are my best friend. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you tomorrow when I tell her, because that's my favorite word for her. I'd be like, relax, just breathe.
But how can you breathe when there's so much going on? You gotta take care of this, take care of that.
But if you don't pause, you have to pause to be able to assess.
You have to
pause to be able to assess, because
you can miss some things as well by not breathing.
But not breathing, when you're constantly in motion, you're gonna walk past the thing that's most obvious. You need the time to breathe. So, Carmisha, I'm gonna put you on speed dial when I'm talking to her on the phone, and just tell her, Carmisha, I'm gonna get you to record it. Just breathe.
But
Carmisha, how you call me every day? Talking about, did you talk to Miss Mina? Did you tell her to breathe?
Is she breathing?
Is she breathing? Okay.
So, is there any moment in your career that you felt like you wanted to give up?
I think I would have to say yes, only because I did go through a really, really rough time. I did lose my husband in the midst of my career. And may he rest in peace, my baby, forever. It'll be 4 years in July 2022, July 6th. And that at some point, like I tell people, like they don't realize I lost everything. I lost the love of my life, my best friend, all my finances. I lost my kid's dad. Like people don't realize I had to pick up the pieces on my own. You know what I mean? From that, and at that time, I kind of went through a time where I did want to give up, and I was like, maybe I just need to go back to work. Maybe I need to do this, and I did. I've gone back to work. I shoot just a couple months ago, back in October, even I was working. I was working. I was going to school. I was doing so much, but then it was like, no, like somebody else said tonight, working for the man is for the birds. Who wants to work for a company where you're doing all this stuff for them, but they not pouring back into you? You spend all your time. Like I used to spend all my time at work. And then when I'm off work, I'm tired. I gotta sleep. I gotta cook for my kids, all of this stuff. So I didn't even want to tell Rachel. I didn't want to tell my team. I didn't really say nothing. And then one day, Rachel she knows too much for me. You know what I'm saying? She be in your business. And one day she was like, why you not at work? Why you not going to work? And I was like, oh, shoot. I am going to work. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't lie to her. And at that moment, she was like, why you not going to work? So I told her, like, okay, something's going on with the job or whatever. And it was some bunch of BS. And you know what that lady told me? She don't even remember. And I told her the same line today, and she talked about me. She said, you know what you're going to do tomorrow? She said, you're going to clock in for yourself. She said, them 8 hours that you usually spend a job, you're going to clock in for yourself. You're going to clock in for Ms. Mina, and every day you're going to do that. And that did something to me. Like that to me was like, damn, you right. And I get to this table, and I done turned my whole dining room into an office for my team and everything at this point. They come here every Tuesday and Wednesday, and we work. Every Friday we together. And when she told me to clock in for my own self, I have not stopped clocking in for myself every day. I don't have no 9 to 5. My only job that pays my $5,000-$6,000 worth of bills every month is with Ms. Mina Media. You know what I mean? And my other company that we haven't started pushing yet, because I am a professional hairstylist and I have a business and a home salon, but I'm so busy with the other stuff. I don't know.
What's the name of that? Pardon me. What was the name of that company? I'm sorry, I didn't hear the name.
Flawless Creations.
Thank you. I appreciate
hair braiding
that.
and styling.
Okay.
But most people that know me, they know I do hair. So I feel like when you start advertising something, you're going to get more people. So sometimes I'm kind of like, I don't want to advertise too much because then I'm going to get an overflow of clients. I'm good with the clients I got. I'm working my business. So like Rachel, I'm going to start advertising it more and getting it because I have done my whole salon over. I got backdrops. I got mirrors. I do steam treatments and all type of stuff. So I've really changed the ambiance. I've got several hair.
Breaking up.
I think the thing said that's it. Enough of that. We're gonna come back to me to get her end part. So we got up next. When we'll get back to RZA, we'll bring her back when she come back.
If we can, let's try RZA, see if she got her sound on.
All right, RZA, you up? Can you hear?
If she like,
okay, it's okay. It's okay, girl. It's okay.
She do have her mic on mute. RZA do have her mic on mute. It say it's on mute. Okay, it's on mute.
It's off mute.
All right, let's go.
Hey.
All right. Welcome to Real Life Topics Podcast CEO Mindset Takeover. Rachel Gary presents, though. Rachel Gary presents the CEO Mindset Takeover with Real Life Topics Podcast. I'm just saying. What you say?
I said it's the Real Life Topics.
What you get?
Takeover.
One more time, Kamisha. Give it to us.
That's right.
Topics. The Real Life Topics CEO Mindset Takeover.
There it is. Come on, y'all.
Period. And welcome, Miss RZA Cooper. One of the best clothing brand founders thus far. I'm just saying. Welcome to the CEO Mindset Takeover, Miss Riza Cooper.
Hey,
Welcome.
thank
Everybody
y'all
would
for
please welcome
having
her.
me.
You don't gotta be shy.
Okay. Could you please tell the CEO Mindset Takeover who is the founder of the clothing brand, Miss Riza Cooper?
Okay, so I am Marissa Cooper. I like to be called Rissa, but my name, but I am the CEO of Coop the Brand, and I make urban clothes for Black people. I want them to feel comfortable and I want them to feel and look confident every day in a world that tells them not to, because confidence overcomes other problems always.
Okay. Okay. So how long have you had
Period.
this clothing brand?
I have had this clothing brand for about 5 years. I started it like during COVID. But I haven't really been consistent with it up until like recently, like the last year and a half.
Does that have something to do with Miss Rachel L. Gary?
Well, I've been more consistent now because of Miss Rachel, yes. But yeah, I wasn't doing it. I don't know. I don't know why I wasn't doing it, but I've been more consistent now because of Miss Rachel, yes.
So what made you come out with the clothing line?
Because I get tired of people always telling us they don't want us wearing their clothes. Like every other brand tell us they don't want us to wear their clothes. So I want a clothing brand that don't mind Black people wearing their clothes because it's made by Black people.
You know what? I want to say something. 1 second. I appreciate what you just said.
Wait, I didn't hear what she said. I can't hear what she's saying.
Wow, wow. Can you
I
hear
can
me
hear
now?
everybody but Miss Rachel.
What?
Oh wow.
Can
Okay, well go
everybody hear
ahead,
me?
Carmen. Yes.
All right. That's all right. I don't have to be heard. I'll talk about it tomorrow on the mastermind.
Okay. Okay. So yes, you did say. Go ahead, Carmisha.
Well, I just want us to know what is the inspiration behind the clothing brand. Because yeah, you want people and you want stuff made for us, but what inspires? What is the why behind the brand? Like, what is the it's your design thing? So like, what is the the overcompensating design behind what you're doing outside of it just being urban wear?
My why is my family. When I was little, my grandma always told me to like have something of my own, and she really expressed it to me like every day. Like when I used to be over there, she's like, make sure you have something of your own. Like people in this world will try to take stuff from you, and you need to make sure you have something of your own. Like, and I didn't really understand it until I got older, and now I really get it. But now, like, I just want to make sure, like, I can give the life that my parents gave me to my family, like, to the family that I have, like, my kids and my siblings and everything like that. I just want to make sure, like, even, like, when my parents get old, I want to be able to give a life to them that, you know what I'm saying, they gave to me.
Okay, so as far as like the brand is concerned, your clothes, what is the inspo? Like colors? Is it frilly foo? Like
Oh, that part.
is it yeah?
So I really like pastel colors. I really love pastel colors. I love the way they look on our skin. I think they really complement our skin. Like I don't know if you ever really like paid attention to how rose gold really looks and like the light pinks and the navies and the olives and things like that. Those colors really complement the skin. So I really want to make sure I got colors or use colors that made us pop, made us look great.
Okay, so nature.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And then okay, so what before the CEO mindset? What are some successes that you had to make you feel like you needed to be coached by Miss Rachel?
Some successes.
Mhm.
Um, I think that some successes I have had. I don't know.
It could even be just had you already started creating your clothing brand when you before you met Miss Rachel?
Yeah, I had already started making clothes and stuff like that. sold a few. I sold quite a few items actually. In the past, like before I made my new logo and everything like that. I just I was making like jogging suits and things like that. So I've sold quite a few items and things like that. Um, and then just recently, I created like my new stuff. So I got like new vests and things like hats and stuff like that from a manufacturer. So I'm branching off into manufacturing now.
Okay, so what brought you to Miss Rachel, and why did you feel like you needed to do the masterclass to become and have the CEO mindset?
Okay, so uh, I was introduced to Miss Rachel by my wife, and she told me that she had signed me up for Miss Rachel.
It's a
And
shame how
so
they was forced in, but no, go ahead.
I really didn't know what I was signing up for, to be honest. However, once I got in, I thought that Miss Rachel could help me like as far as like structure. I'm not really like all over the place, but I am kind of like a all over the place type of person. So I really go by like I'm really good with like following like direction and like following like a schedule and things like that. So just like more structure within my business and things like that.
Okay, so is this your first session in the CEO mindset?
Yes, this is my first session, and in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, like I really thought like I was just gonna like knock these 10 weeks out and I was just gonna be like a boss for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like I really thought I was gonna come in here and beast it and everything like that, and I was gonna be like making like $3,000 by the end of the 10 weeks. You know what I'm saying? But I understand that like now, like so like I'm still like in the book for real, for real. The book is more like working on me for real. And I would really like to come back to work on my brand. Like I think I'm like really mastering like me. I'm grasping the concept of like understanding me and you know what I'm saying, managing the four pillars of success and figuring out self-care and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just really working on me right now. I'm not really into I'm still like started from scratch as far as like Coop the brand goes. So I would really like to come back to focus on more Coop the brand. Like I think Rissa is really cool and she's really grounded now. She's got her, she's building her confidence. You know what I'm saying? But now I think it's time to like, all right, take Rissa and add it to Coop the brand and then just make them one.
Well, that makes
And Rissa got a song. What's that? What's that? Got a whole song. Come on now. Rissa got a song. Coop the brand got an anthem. It's about to be hot, guys. Y'all ain't ready.
Yes, Coach Rachel made me a song. It's really, really lit, and it's really my favorite part is the part that sounds like Tarzan, and that's my favorite part. And I just be beating on my chest. So when y'all see the video, it's really probably gonna be me beating on my chest during that part. That's my favorite part of the whole song. But it really speaks to like what Coop the brand, who Coop the brand is, and just what I speak, my morals and things like that.
so. What have you gained? And in these 10 weeks, because you said, like you said, you found out that you weren't even working on your brand, you was working on yourself, right? So,
Yeah.
what self realizations have you had in the midst of this?
So I have realized that in the beginning, I realized that I maybe wasn't as confident as I thought I was as I promote my brand. You know what I'm saying? I think that's very important because COOP stands for Confidence Overcomes Other Problems. So I think that, and I appreciate the fact that Miss Rachel um, allowed me to just be me. You know what I'm saying? Like she didn't like force me to like focus on like the branding part, you know what I'm saying? She just helped me to understand like where I was, you know what I'm saying? But I think that I have gained like confidence. I think that was the biggest part. Like I've gained confidence. I'm able to like speak about my brand and who I am, and I'm still learning. Don't get me wrong, I'm still learning and I'm still growing and stuff like that. But I know where I am now. You know what I'm saying? I know where I am now. I know where I want to go, and I know what I gotta do, and I'm ready to do it.
So, are you coming back for a second season?
If Miss Rachel will have me, yes, I'm coming back.
It sounds like your whole class is going for round two, Miss Rachel. Okay.
I tell you this, guys. I be honored every time someone wants to work with me again. And Rissa definitely already, as I told her, she's already in. Just the next class, she's going to wait till the April class because she's still going to be in the class when the next class starts. So when the April class begins, she is already in. Shayna is already in. Amina is already in. Sharice, who isn't on right now, she's already in. They've already asked and already signed up. Shayna has a angel investor in her who is investing in her future. One day, once she makes it all happen, I am to tell her who it was. But I was told not. I cannot tell her. So they've been, as long as she wants to be in it, they're going to pay for her class every session. So she has an angel investor. So there's someone who believes in her enough to as long as she wants to be on the journey, they're paying for that journey. And I can honor that. For someone caring enough to want to see someone win, because that's what it's all about. All we doing is what, y'all, for 2020.
Win, no matter what.
That's what we doing.
I said we doing the hokey pokey y'all 2026. You put your own self in.
Tag you it. Tag you it. Come on, Carisha.
You seem like a very
Okay.
sweet person. I like your I can feel it from radiating over the screen.
I am a very sweet person. I try to be very sweet.
Very humble.
My parents raised me that way.
That's a good thing. You have any questions, Steph?
Shout out to everybody in the messages that's tuning in to Rachel L. Gary presents the CEO Takeover Mindset with Real Life Topics podcast. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. And Miss Rizza, Coop the brand. What does that stand for? What is that? Does that the name of your clothing line? Does it stand for something?
Yes, it stands for confidence overcomes other problems always. Well,
Confidence overcomes other problems always. What a great logo. What a great definition of Coop the brand. Where could anyone find Coop the brand?
Right now, you can find me on Facebook or Instagram at Coop the brand. And you can sign up for my
and they can just inbox.
Yeah, you can sign up for my
So they can just inbox you if they want to check out your clothing line?
Yeah, you can inbox me for now, or you can sign up for my email list. I am currently working on my website, which should be up within the next couple of weeks.
So there you go, guys. Coop the brand, the CEO, the founder of Coop the brand, Miss Rizza Cooper, on the CEO Mindset Takeover with Real Life Topics podcast, guys. Thank you so much for joining and letting everyone know about your brand and letting everyone know about you joining the CEO Mindset with Miss Rachel L. Gary. Thank you for tuning in, Miss Rizza Cooper. And if you want to check out that Coop the brand, go right into the inbox or go into the messages and the comments. Go to the comments to check out the brand, guys. So what do we have up next on the CEO? If you guys are just tuning in, I think I'm gonna reiterate to y'all and let you guys know what's going on. This is Real Life Topics podcast, the CEO Mindset Takeover. Miss Rachel L. Gary, the leadership coach, presents this, guys. And now we have next on here. Of course, you guys said, I think you guys said there was yes, Miss Woodson.
Hey,
Miss Latanya Woodson, the empowerment coach.
Come
The
on.
empowerment coach. Welcome to Real Life Topics podcast, the CEO Mindset Takeover. We have Latanya Woodson. Yes,
evening,
welcome.
everyone.
Could you please tell the audience? Yes, could you please welcome anyway? Because you please tell the audience who is Miss Latanya Woodson, the empowerment coach.
I am Latanya R. Woodson. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Latanya R. Woodson. I'm an author, a 2-time winner, and the CEO of Live Reclaim Wellness, where I empower women to live with intent, reclaim their power, and to walk boldly in their truth. Because most women say that they want to walk, and as a woman, we have so many things on our plate. We give of ourselves to so many people, and we always save. We save nothing for ourselves because we're always pouring into other people. So when I say that when women want to walk and they want to walk in their purpose, sometimes we're too tired to walk. sometimes we're depressed, sometimes we're overwhelmed, but God gave us each a purpose. He designed us. He created us all for a purpose, and that's what He put us here to do. Whether we're fearful, whether we're doubtful, whether we lack confidence, He said to walk, and that's what we all should do, and that's what I'm here to empower women to do.
So, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
My mic was on mute.
Okay, so Miss Latanya R. Woodson, you're not just an empowerment coach, you are a CEO and an author for women
Yeah.
empowerment.
Yeah.
And how long have you been doing this career? How long has it been since you walked out on faith and said, hey, I am going to be an author? What happened first, being an author, an empowerment coach? What made you just walk out on faith and say, hey, I have to make a difference for women?
Okay, so my journey started in 2020. And my first launch was Learn, Release, Walk. As you can see, Latanya R. Woodson, Learn, Release, Walk. Those are the initials of my name because the book was about me. It was about emotional management, and it was about just sharing my story of what I went through. So during the course of the pandemic, I went through some things. I had to learn how to take care of myself because I went through a job transition where I was on employment for over 20 years. So when I lost my job, we were in the pandemic. I was going through some health issues. I was going through some relationship issues. You know what? I lost my voice. I was in fear. So that's where the Learn, Release, Walk came from. It's my book, Learn, Release, Walk, that I launched in 2021. So during that time, I was looking for a spiritual advisement. And during that time, when I was looking, I was told each place that I called, I was looking in the Indiana area, the Illinois area, the surrounding areas, and each place I called, they said it's about a 3 to 6 month wait. When they told me that, that's when I said, I'm not the only one that's going through this. I'm not the only one that is needing mental health or mental wellness. So I asked God, what do you want me to do? And He said to write. So that's what I did. I started writing. And the Learn, Release, Walk, not only it journals, what I went through, but it also has poetry, it has inspiration, it has scriptures, it has prayers, and it also has areas where you can journal and you can date. So you can go back and see your growth. So that's where Learn, Release, Walk came from. And then later on, my second book that I was recognized by DAG, Distinguished Authors Guild, was a children's book. What's Up Romeo? WHAZ Up Romeo. And it's about a dog where he teaches children, school age children, essential skills through the eyes of a dog. Because I feel, especially our Black and brown children, they need to know about essential skills. When I was growing up, my parents, my aunts, my grandmother, they had time. They set us down. They talked about, do not talk to strangers. And with the social media, our kids need to know about there are predators out there. That's why we have so many kids that's missing right now because they're just too comfortable with talking with anyone. And then my second book was What's Up, Romeo? My Friend is Different, So What? Where I talk about self-respect, self-awareness. And the last book, What's Up, Romeo? I'm Sad. Let's talk about it. It talks about mental health and wellness, and it teaches kids that it's okay not to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that came first. The author, the book came first, and then the CEO, Live, Reclaim, Wellness, came next.
You sound like you're empowering people, but it sounds like you empowered yourself. Like
I did. I did. I am truly a walking testament. And being a part of Coach Rachel's 10-week session, it has empowered me even more because I'm fresh at this. I've always had a LLC. Okay, it was Live Right Wellness. But after getting into Coach Rachel's session, immediately it spoke to me and said, "You got to change this because you have to really speak intentionally into what you want to do." So I changed the logo. My logo is a butterfly where there is beauty and transformation because I am transforming. Even though I am an older woman, there is always, God always have a purpose for every season in our life. So when I came on with Coach Rachel, she basically told me, she said, "You know what, there's going to be some things that's going to be occurring. I'm not going to say anything right now." So our second one-on-one, I said, "Coach Rachel, I have something to tell you. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around this." And she said, "What is it, LaTanya?" I said, "I stepped away from my job. Remember, I have been working in corporate America ever since I've been in my early 20s. So for me to be out on my own, this is transformative. But I could not retire because I'll be retiring probably within the next 5 to 7 years. I could not retire and say I did not live intentionally. I did not live out loud. I did not reclaim my voice or walk boldly in the gifts that God gave me. Because if I can't do it, then I can't preach it. I can't teach it. And what the Bible tells us is God has not given us the spirit of fear. He has given us power. So I am walking in my power and I'm walking in what I'm preaching, what I'm teaching, and what I am also explaining to women that you're going to grow. It's going to be growth. And it's not going to always feel comfortable. It's not going to always feel good because I'm going to be honest with you. I had a moment this morning, but I said, get yourself together. Get yourself together because you still got work to do.
Come on, LaTanya. Speak that, LaTanya. Speak that.
Yes.
I gotta clap that up. Speak that. I mean, because LaTanya, man, I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I have known stuff about LaTanya, and I don't know how I knew it. LaTanya, she shared half the story, but I'll let her, if she wants to share the rest of it, she can. But when I met LaTanya, there was, guys, I have to say this. I've been meditating for the last couple of years, and there has been, how do I say, the spirit has been talking to me and talking through me. And I've been feeling energy from people, energy to people. And it was just that I just knew LaTanya and I was going to work together, and I knew things about LaTanya, and I didn't even know LaTanya, and no one told me anybody about other people's business. And just so you guys know, I'm one of these people, I don't listen to people's business. If someone is telling me about somebody's business, I'm gonna stop them because I don't want. I'm just not that kind of person. So I didn't know, but I knew, and I don't know how I knew before LaTanya told me. So
before I told her, she said, "I already know what you're gonna tell me," and and believe me when I tell you this. The conversation that I had with the person at my job, she said, "It's your energy." And I said, "It's my what?" She said, "Your energy." And when I told Rachel that, she said, "I already knew what you were going to say. And it is your energy." I said, "But what does that mean?" She said, "In. What is in you must come out."
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Sometimes I want to say this, guys, and I'm not an advocate for people leaving their jobs. I want to say it. I'm not an advocate because sometimes you leave your job a little too soon and you don't have the money to invest in your next. So I will say this. What I've noticed is that sometimes we are holding on to something so tight that is stopping us from our growth. And when you release that, come on, LaTanya, when you
learn, release, walk.
When you release it, it allows you to walk in your purpose. So Latanya, when she changed the name of her program, man, I think we talked about that for 20 minutes on the mastermind because it felt like her.
It felt like me.
It felt like
Yes.
her. She felt like she had come out of that cocoon and became that butterfly. And I love the logo. I think I posted it 3 times. I mean, I love the message.
Mm-hmm.
It's beauty and transformation. And when I changed it to reclaim, God instantly gave me reclaim her.
Mm-hmm.
You are reclaiming her.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to speak to women because that's what I am. There have been some people that have come to me, men. So, well, why can't you write a book about what men should do? I said because they have read my book. They have bought my book for either their wife, their daughter, their sister. They've been buying my books as well. And I said because I'm a woman, I can't tell you what you need to do. Not in this particular situation. But what I am saying is that for me, and I can only talk for me, it's been a transformative experience, especially now since I've been with Coach Rachel. It has been eye-opening. It's been where I had to shed some tears because I had to execute. I had to hold myself accountable. um Self-awareness, self-care. It's been all of that. So yeah, it's been a journey.
And it seems like, okay, so my question would be, because it seems like you are kind of very self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
You did empower yourself. So what pushed you to when you came across Ms. Rachel to go into her program for your own self-realizations and seeing what holes needed to be plugged up within yourself?
Well, I noticed Miss Rachel. Well, we met during DAG because we won on the same night. Was my second book that I had gotten recognized for. And thank you again to the Distinguished Authors Guild. Thank you so much. And I just noticed her, and when she said she saw my energy, I felt hers as well.
Mm-hmm.
I felt her energy. And I'm like, people who walks with integrity, you notice people that have a genuine concern about other people, who's willing to pour. Um, Rachel will give her all. We can be in a session, we can be in a coaching session, and we have seen Rachel when she has had a head cold, when she's not feeling well. Her wife is giving her tea and saying, okay, you need to, do what you need to do, but you need to get your rest. We said, come on, you can just let us out early because she holds us about 2 hours. Because she's constantly pouring into us. You appreciate people that way. You appreciate, because so many other leaders that I know, they don't do that. They hold everything to themselves. I appreciate what Miss Mina said, where she pours into her people.
That's a blessing.
And especially as Black women, we shouldn't hold that information to ourselves. We got to stop being so competitive, and especially the older women, we got to reach back. We got to reach back, and we got to teach the next generation so that they will be able to carry the torch and take care of their families and the communities and things of that sort. And we're doing it more so now, but for a minute we wasn't doing that.
And I want to add this right now. We're talking to 2, 4, 6, 8 women and a gentleman who are pouring into each other and pouring into their communities. So that's what the mastermind is all about. Collaboration over competition. As we heard, Latanya's a coach. The Coopers are coaches. Natalie's a coach. Amina is coaching her team. Shayna is coaching people. She's coaching young women. So the information that we're all gathering, we're pouring that out. That's what it's about. That was what the whole mission was. And to me, I am on a lifelong mission for just that. I'm pouring information that I got in me, out of me, to individuals so we can pour into the world. How does the world make a change? You have to be the change you want to see in the world.
And I want to add something too, Coach.
Please.
You mentioned, all of us being coaches, and some people may say, but it's saturated. God will give you He will send the people to you. He will send you the people that need to hear your voice. My voice is for a particular population, particular set of folks. Coach Rachel has hers, Miss Mina has hers. And so you shouldn't concern yourself with that. If you ask God for it, He'll send the people to you. He'll send you what you need, because what's for you is for you. No one can take it away.
Exactly. But you have to be ready. So that's the biggest thing. You have to be
Yes.
ready to. So Latanya, when she was ready, when she walked in that door, when that lady said her energy,
She did. She said it.
when she
And I
said
did
her
not
energy,
understand it. I did not.
but the second she stepped into her energy, right now you're not gonna be able to tell Latanya nothing about that, because she is in that energy at this point now, and she was ready for what God had in store for her. You have to be ready for when that door is opening for you.
You have to be ready to walk, whether you're fragile. Whether you said, Coach Rachel, you said walk scared, but walk.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I've been doing. I've been walking, and it's like, my husband said he got me. But I know God is my source. My husband said he got me, my family said, but I'm used to having my own. I'm used to, just doing what I need to do and go. But now he's put discipline in me. He's making me hold on to a budget, and he's making me where don't even what you going out there for? Get back to your desk and do what you need to do.
Yeah, but self-realization and self-actualization, understanding who you are first is the key to acceptance of self, so you can be able to pour into other people, because you can't pour from an empty vessel. And it sounds like Ms. Rachel has been the vessel who has been pouring to others, so that way all the coaches can go out and pour into their teams and in their investments and in their businesses. That's a great thing.
So when I have those conversations, I'm comfortable enough and I'm confident enough to, give, and confident in saying, this is what I can offer this to you, but this is my fee, or this is my package, and I'm confident in what I'm saying. Whereas at first I was kind of like, I don't know, I need to, but yeah, it's a different feeling. And like I said before, I'm new at this, but I think I'm miles away than what I really am. I'm further along than what I really feel that I am. I'm much further along. I know I am.
So you gain confidence in the midst of this 10 weeks.
Absolutely.
And self-reassurance, it sounds like, as well.
Yes. Yep.
What other takeaways that you have gained within this 10 weeks? And do you believe after the 10 weeks, you will be ready to go out and face the world in the way that you feel like you should?
I feel like I will be able to walk in my purpose as a CEO. And I believe that I do have the tools that I need. Of course, it's not going to be perfect. I'm going to make some mistakes. That's okay. I'm harder on myself than other people. I'm very hard on myself. I feel like everything and every piece in all the pieces to the puzzles have to be there. And when we were in the session, Rachel was like, no, there were times when I screwed up and I, had to go back to the drawing board. So, Rachel was killing it out there. I see her, I'm like, go ahead. Yep, that's my coach. Yeah.
I'm pretty
So
sure
when you're around people and you have that energy and you see that energy, you feed off of that energy. I was feeding off of Miss Mina's energy. I was feeding off of Miss Shayna's energy. I was feeding off, the coaches, the Merritts, the Coopers and Riza. We feed off of one another, and we critique one another and give one another feedback as well. So that's also important.
So have you gained community as well within the midst of this?
Well, I have over 20 years in the healthcare sector
Mhm.
where I've already had a sense of community. I was the manager of community outreach and I also was the director of community health education. So I've always been in the community. People know me. I've done, podcasts, radio, social media. I'm just coming. If I can work hard for someone else, like she said, I can clock in for myself. When my babies, when we were raising our kids, I felt that I had to take certain things. Now, when me and my husband eat, everybody eat.
Mhm.
So I felt like this was a good time for me to live for Latanya and to walk out on faith, faith over fear. Reclaim her. I'm reclaiming me. I reclaimed my voice. I'm living out loud and I'm walking boldly in the gift that God gave me. And that's what I'm empowering other women to do. No matter what you have been through, you can do it because I see so many women that they just allow so much trauma, so much. And it's just it's sad.
It really is. I believe that you saw yourself in Miss Rachel and didn't even know it.
You said what again now?
I believe that you saw yourself in Miss Rachel and didn't even know it.
Yeah, because we didn't we I would see her, we would see one
Mhm.
another, but I didn't really know her. I noticed her, and like she said, I felt her energy, and I'm like, I want to connect with her.
She walked past me, y'all. We were all at a dinner, and she walked past me. She's like, "I gotta connect with you." Then we were at the when we won our award for her award winning book, her 2-time award winning author, and then I am my series. Both my books won an award that night. We walked past each other. She's like, "I'm gonna get with you," and she get.
And mhm.
And so I was like, and so then I reached out and sent her the information. I said, "When you have time, call me."
And I did. And she said, I knew you were going to call me. So after the Learn Release Walk and I completed my children's series, I completed a couple of co-authorships, some projects. But then my last piece was Awake and Activate the Power Within. It's a self-development and guidebook, and it's a buddy to Learn, Release, Walk. Because although you can write and learn, release, walk, many women was coming to me saying they didn't want to write in the book. I said, but that's what those lines are for. Highlight, it's yours. It was like, no, we want something else. So I worked with Dr. Carolyn Stevens, and she helped me create a guidebook that's a buddy to learn, release, walk. So I feel very blessed. I never would have thought that my life would have made a turn as far as this journey is concerned. I always had a knack for writing, but I never thought that it would come to this far. So this past Sunday, I was recognized by a sorority, a Zeta Phi Beta, a Zeta Theta Zeta chapter for my community service. I was one of the honorees, and I was recognized for my community service empowerment of other women. So with that being said, wow,
Wow.
for someone else to recognize you and to say, great job, keep going, we believe in you. That was such a huge blessing. It really was. So I'm just grateful and I'm thankful.
So, what are some takeaways that you are going to implement that came from this program into your business and the things that you are doing?
Some of the takeaways would be one thing, accountability and execution. I gotta be accountable for everything that I do and that I don't do. And if my business does not succeed, it's because of me.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna blame it on anyone else. It's because of me. And I have to hold true and one of the other things is the action plan. So Coach Rachel, she said, develop your CEO action plan, and that's what you live by. That's what you go through. Even if you have to go back, even if you have to start from the beginning, if whatever you need to do, that you live by that and you hold yourself accountable and you execute. So that's one of the things, a few things that I will carry on to my workshops.
Do you have any questions, Gotcha? Can't hear you.
No, I just have, well, yes, I just have one more question. Because of course, can you guys hear me?
Yes,
You can't hear me, correct?
we can hear you.
Okay, so I have one more question because of course Miss Latanya R. Woodson, CEO and author, of course, of women empowerment. And could you just tell the audience, in your definition, how important is women empowerment?
So, in of learn, release, walk, there is a term that I use throughout the book, and that term is sister. And when you use sister, which is a term of endearment to another woman, it causes a shift in the environment. So there was one particular time where I saw a woman, it was a young woman, and she had two children, and the kids were very, kids are anxious, they're impatient, and she was just really having a bad day, and she was yelling at the kids. And I said, "Sister, how you doing?" And she looked at me, and I said, "Can I help you with something, sister?" And she was like, "Oh, okay." She began to talk to me, and she began to, feel better. And I saw her anxiety come down, and she was able to deal with the kids. So what I'm trying to say is, sometimes when we see another woman that's in need, that need help, that needs some advice, sometimes we can just say, "Sister, is it anything that I can do? Is it something that what service that I can do?" We don't necessarily have to, invite that person home, but how nice would it be if we could just, come to one another, relate to one another, just on just on that level.
Well, there we have it, guys. Of course, again, if you guys are tuning in, this is the CEO Mindset Takeover with Real Life Topics Podcast. And we have Miss Latanya Woodson, CEO and author,
And
woman empowerment coach.
if someone wants to email me, you can email me at lrwcoach.life@gmail.com. I am setting up a new website. It is not
One
fully
more time for me,
completed.
Latanya, if you don't mind.
I'm sorry.
One more time, how they can contact you.
You can email me at lrwcoach.life@gmail.com, or you can visit me, you can messenger me, or you can connect with me through social media on my Facebook, Latanya Woodson. But I have not quite finished my website. That's going to be up soon, but I will prefer you email me if you have any questions on buying my books. All of my books are available on Amazon. You can just look me up, Latanya R. Woodson, and all of my books will be there for you to purchase.
All right. Thank you, Latanya.
It was so nice talking to you all.
Thank you so much, Miss Latanya, for joining the CEO Takeover.
All right. Look at what we've done. We have had we've taken over Facebook 2 hours, ladies. This has been an awesome day.
Okay.
What questions y'all got for me? And I want to bring all the CEOs back and just let them say one more time where you got their titles from.
Okay, we finished up. Okay, so Miss Rachel L. Gary, of course, this is the CEO. Yes, this is, of course, again, Real Life Topics Podcast CEO Mindset Takeover, which is presented by Miss Rachel L. Gary. Miss Rachel L. Gary, could you tell the audience who is Miss Rachel L. Gary? Because we know she is a CEO and an author and a leadership coach.
How do we get here?
You said how we get
You can't
here?
hear me?
How did we get here?
Okay, how we got here on Real Life Topics?
No, in general, because like you said, you have been meditating, you pour into people, so there has to be a why. How long have you been doing this? What is the passion behind your purpose?
I want to say I've been in leadership for 25 years. I worked with many Fortune 500, 300 companies and watched them prosper and help them prosper. And what I noticed is that in the communities, we were looking for strength and growth. And we're constantly having the conversation about we want to have better, we want to do better. And I had unique knowledge of how businesses work. And a simple system that will allow businesses for people to find success within themselves so they could grow. And when you grow your business becomes an extension of yourself. So that's why my book is all about building you. And the 10-week plan is about building your business. Because the first person you must build is yourself.
Of course.
My mission is to build our communities. How do we have the next Black Wall Street? We got to have some finances to build it. We have to have some self-awareness. We have to have some community, some collaboration. And if I could, and as I said, I'm a firm believer in being the change I want to see in the world. When did this all begin for me doing coaching and mentorship? I want to say June of 2023, I was sitting and started meditating. And in my meditation, I was told to leave the job. I didn't follow that. I continued working. I was told to start creating a program. So I created the business and started creating a program. I had a conversation with my mentor, Greg Gray, who I was on his podcast earlier, Dope Living TV. And he said, girl, I'm quoting, he said, girl, if you don't get your butt on that microphone, I am an introvert by nature, and I didn't want to speak live anywhere. I said, how do I give this presentation? How do I get this to everyone? He said, I'm going to use a colorful word, get your ass on the mic. That's what he said. He forced me to get on his show. I stuttered through all of it. What I did next was I started doing a podcast and just got used to having a conversation. And I always had the information, but it was hard for me to get it out. At this point, as you guys can tell, after 2.5 years, I have gotten over the stuttering because I have a message and I'm not pouring from an empty cup. I am so full. We are 2 hours and 15 minutes into a show, and I have just as much energy because of all of those people down there that I have a conversation with every week. They're going to have another 2-hour session in another less than 24 hours, where we, according to Latanya, where we're going to be talking about growth and building because we are in week 9. You guys haven't seen it yet, but you guys got to watch the CEO Mastermind to really find out what's happening. The link is in the comments. But as we grew, as they grew, they poured into me just as I poured into them. Now, all of us have our own circle of genius. That's why, to me, the market can never be saturated. There's only one Latanya Woodson. I'm going to bring them up as I call their names, if it's okay. There's only one Latanya Woodson. There's only one Shayna Jenkins. There's only one Natalie R. Murphy. There's only one Michelle and Michael Cooper. Let me scroll down. Sorry. There's only one Riz Cooper. There's only one Miss Mina the Crown Diva. There's only one of those individuals. I don't care how many other people in the industry are doing what they are doing. There's nobody doing it like them. There's nobody who has their life experiences. And there's no one who's going to bring that brand to life more than they are. So I am honored every single week to share the mic, share the conversation, share the room with these individuals. So I am totally and utterly blessed every single time I speak to another individual, because right here is nothing but success. So what we doing for 2026, ladies and gents? We are win, what?
Win.
Win,
No matter what.
No matter what.
No matter
No
what.
matter what.
No matter what.
So each of them, if they got one new client for working with CEO Mastermind, if they get 20 new clients working with CEO Mastermind, I'm gonna tell you what they did get. They have a collaboration of individuals right here that they can bounce ideas off of, who pick each other up each week. There have been tears. There have been moments of anxiety. There have been where we're upset about life. But when they come in that mastermind, they encourage each other to continue forward. So I am honored that I had a platform and that Greg kicked me in the butt and said, move forward. Because a coach needs a coach.
Say it again. All these beautiful shades of brown people here. I'm thankful and grateful. Thankful.
And guess who's next, guys? Guess who's next in the mastermind? Raise your hands, ladies. Raise your hands, ladies. They are next in the CEO mastermind. So both of them are they are also in the guys. At the end of the day, how do we grow a business? How do we grow our community? Be a community. Be the change we want to see in the world, ladies and gents. And every week I get to see them be the change they want to see in the world. Thank y'all for allowing me and trusting me with your businesses.
No, thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Teamwork make the dream work. We're gonna get it done, y'all. It is what it is.
Thank you guys for joining.
It's gonna change y'all life.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Real Life Topics Podcast, the CEO Mindset Takeover, guys.
All right. So I let the ladies give y'all ending. So I would say one thing at the end, but y'all go ahead and tell them a little bit about Carmisha. I want you guys to talk a little bit about yourselves real quick. Tell them a little bit about you and what you do and why you be giving me these interviews that be stellar. Talk about that real quick for me.
To be honest with you, it's just something that is in my heart. I love communication. I love wisdom. I love everything that is beautiful about people. People, places, and things. I love brilliant minds. I love humble people. I love everything that is of God's creation. And I actually am right now in nursing school to be a nurse, to be an RN, get my bachelor's degree right now as we speak. Stephanie and I have been in friendship for over 20 years at this point. So it was just something that we always talked about because we always wanted to give back in a way that we know how. And one thing we know how to do is talk, as y'all can see. We talk and we love to just sow into each other and sow into other people and learn and grow through each other. I'm a single mother. I have 4 babies. I am the head of a household. I pull out of a lot of hats as well, but I am all about empowering and each one, reach one, and teach one.
Yeah, that was Carmisha, the Sunflower Soul, one of the hosts of Real Life Topics Podcast. And of course, I am one of the hosts as well, Stephanie's Godchild. And make sure you guys check us out every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. We discuss the dynamics of life every Thursday night at 7 p.m., where we also have exclusive interviews with exclusive people. We are also event hosts, feature vocalists, voiceover artists, models, actresses. Real Life Topics Podcast has a lot to provide. And our logo is all about the come together. We are the up and coming media mavens. So please check us out on all platforms, guys. And we are so honored to host the CEO Mindset Takeover with all these beautiful CEOs that we interviewed tonight, guys. It's Real Life Topics Podcast. Please make sure you guys tune in. Thank you so much, Miss Rachel L. Gary, one of the #1 leadership coaches and authors from the city of Chicago, Illinois.
All right. So I'll bring each person up. I want you guys to tell them where they can find you and what you do real quick, because I want to make, because I want to make sure that everyone gets in here.
So I am Latanya R. Woodson, the CEO of Live Reclaim Wellness, where I empower women to live with intent, reclaim their power, and walk in their purpose. You can email me at lrwcoach.life latanyawoods@gmail.com, or you can visit me on my Facebook page and send me a message through Latanya Woodson.
Hey, everybody. Ladies, thank you so much again for having me. My name is Shana M. Jenkins. I am the CEO and principal designer of A Stiletto Decor Interiors, where we don't just decorate rooms, we create bold, statement-making interiors that allow you to function beautifully in your everyday life. You can find me on season 2 and season 3 of CEO Mastermind, possibly season 4. You can visit me on my Instagram page, A Stiletto Decor LLC, and also on Facebook as Shana Jenkins. Thank you all.
Hi, I am Natalie R. Murphy. The R stands for Romance Junkie. I'm an award-winning romance writer. I am also a self-publishing coach. I am the CEO of From Pen to Publish, The Road to Self-Publishing. I teach a workshop where I teach writers how to confidently and I am so tired right now to confidently turn their writing dream into a I'm tired. I am so sorry. I am a self-publishing coach, and I can transform your writing dream into a published reality. You can reach me at netsbooks.net. That's my website. You can follow me on Facebook at Natalie R. Murphy. You can follow me on Instagram, Natalie R. Murphy Author. Thank you for having me.
Once again, good evening, everyone. We are Michael and Michelle Cooper. We are CEOs of Better Together Coaching.
And you can reach us at c2b1ministry.com. Excuse me, c2b1ministry.com, 708-872-0463. Again, that's 708-872-OGOD. And check out us on Facebook at C2B1, on Instagram at Better Together. Better Together Coaching on Instagram, our new Instagram page, Better Together Coaching.
Hey,
Hello, everyone. I am Ms. Mina Brown Diva. Thank you all so much for having me on the show today. I am the CEO of Ms. Mina Media, where basically what we do is help entrepreneurs, artists, and brands to turn what they love to do into something that people recognize, respect, and invest in. Just remember, if nobody knows who you are, they can't pay you. Get in tune with Ms. Mina Media on all social media. It's spelled MZMINAH, and that's media, Ms. Mina Media. And you can email us at Ms. Mina Media, also MsMinaMedia.com, to see all information on branding and visibility for yourself. Thank you.
Guys, as you guys have heard from the wonderful CEOs here, your business is only waiting on you. So I want you guys to step into it. I have an upcoming workshop that is coming up March 24th. It's complimentary. It's called Marry the Business, where we talk about loving yourself. That is what the whole workshop is about. So get locked in. The link is is below. At the end of the day, you guys can be the best version of you. But the only way you can step into being the best version of you is being up, out, and moving to the greatness we all know lies within who? You. Take a look at the CEO Mastermind. Have a good night, everybody.